You walk into a VC pitch meeting, your product's brilliant, your team's strong, your market is huge, and then the investor asks, why now? Most founders fumble this question. They talk about their technology, their traction, their vision, but that's not what the investor is asking. They're asking, what has changed in the world that makes this the perfect moment for your company to exist? And here's the thing, this question is hard to answer. If it's obvious, if all the signs are there, then it's too late. Someone else is already winning this market. I'm Mark Macleod. I've raised over $1 billion in capital as a CFO, VC, and investment banker. And I can tell you why now is the question that determines whether you get funded or not. It's also the single biggest factor in the outcome of your company. If this helps you, hit subscribe. I share videos every week on scaling high growth companies. Here's what why now really means. VCs see thousands of pitches. Most ideas aren't new, most problems have been attempted before, most markets have existing players. So the question isn't whether your idea is good, the question is why will it work today when it didn't work 5 years ago? What's different now? There are only a few answers that matter, and you need to nail at least one of them. Be sure to check out our Why Now checklist at the link below. This will help you prepare for the most important question in your fundraising. Let's explore the kind of shifts that tell us that the timing is right. First, a technology shift. This is the most common answer. Some new technology has become available that makes your solution possible. Look at OpenAI and Anthropic. AI is not new. Machine learning has existed for decades. But the AI chip architecture and the massive compute needed for AI to be ready for prime time only became accessible in the last few years. That's why now. If you're building on a technology shift, you need to show the investors what just became possible. What can you do today that you couldn't do about 3 years ago? Be specific. Don't just say AI is getting better. Show exactly what capability is unlocked in your solution. Next is regulatory change. Sometimes the market doesn't exist because regulations prevented it. Then something changes in the legal or regulatory environment. Cannabis companies, fintech after Dodd-Frank, telemedicine after COVID. These weren't good ideas waiting to happen. They required regulatory shifts to become viable business. If your answer to why now is a regulatory change, prove that the change is permanent. Show the investor this isn't a temporary window that might close. We saw that with COVID. E-commerce exploded when stores were shut, but people went back to shopping in stores when things opened up. Next is a behavior shift. This is the hardest one to spot, but the most powerful when it happens. Consumer behavior changes slowly, then suddenly it shifts all at once. And when it does, massive opportunities open up. COVID created behavior shifts. Remote work, telehealth, online fitness, Zoom, everything. But the question is, will this behavior stick or will people revert once the forcing function is gone? The best founders are able to show that behavior shift is permanent, that people have crossed a threshold and they won't go back. Airbnb created a behavior shift. People started trusting strangers on the internet. That's obvious now, but in 2008, that was a radical change. Uber created a behavior shift. We now get into the back of strangers' cars without thinking about it. If your why now is a behavior shift, you need to prove it's real. Show data, show trends, show that this isn't just a fad. Next, an economic shift. Sometimes the market changes because economic conditions create new opportunities or pressures. Near zero interest rates created an explosion in venture-backed startups. Rising interest rates are creating opportunities in efficiency software. The shift to remote work created economic pressure on office space. That opened up opportunities in co-working and flexible space. If you're answering why now with an economic shift, show the investor that the shift is structural and not cyclical, that this is the new normal, not a temporary blip. Next is a competitive shift. Sometimes the answer is about what your competitors are doing wrong. Incumbents get lazy. They stop innovating. They raise prices. They ignore customer feedback. That creates an opening. But you need to explain why that opening exists now and didn't exist before. Blockbuster owned the video rental market before Netflix came in and disrupted them. Salesforce didn't just build better CRM software, they built it at the exact moment when enterprises were ready to move to the cloud. Slack didn't invent team messaging, but they launched when email was breaking and teams were desperate for something better. If your why now is competitive, show what the incumbents are missing and why customers are ready to switch. Here's what most founders get wrong. They answer why now by talking about themselves, their team, their technology, their passion. But investors don't care about you, they care about the market. The market is what creates billion-dollar outcomes. Your execution is what captures them. So when an investor asks why now, they're really asking, is the market ready for this? Has something fundamental changed that makes this the right moment? If the answer is no, it doesn't matter how good your team is. You're too early or too late. Either way, you're not fundable. But if the answer is yes, if you can clearly articulate what has changed in the world, then you're having a different conversation. Now you're talking about timing, market windows, opportunity capture, and that's when investors start writing checks. Let me give you an example from my own experience. I was CFO at FreshBooks. When we raised our Series A, that question was asked, why now? Our answer, small businesses are moving to the cloud. There's a new generation of small business owner who grew up online. Whatever need they have, they just assume there's an app for that. This grows the market. This created the window. We didn't just have a better product. We had the right product at the right time. We had simple accounting software that a business owner could understand. They could download the app or sign up on the desktop and get started. That's why now. Here's how to prepare for this question. Before you walk into any pitch meeting, write down your answer to why now. What has changed in the world in the last 3 to 5 years that makes your company possible today? Have a clear thesis. Be specific. Use data if you have it. Reference technology shifts, regulatory changes, behavior shifts, economic changes, or competitive dynamics. Practice saying it out loud. Make it crisp. Make it compelling. Make it undeniable. Because here's the reality. If you can't answer why now, your company isn't ready to raise capital. It might be a great idea, it might become a great company, but if the timing isn't right, the market won't care and investors won't fund it. But if you nail why now, everything else gets easier. The investors lean in, they start seeing the opportunity, they start imagining the outcome. That's when you go from pitching to having a partner. So ask yourself right now, why now? What has changed in the world that makes this the perfect moment for your company to exist? If you have a clear answer, you're ready to raise. If you don't, keep building until you do. Timing isn't everything, but it's close. If you're raising capital and want to join a community of ambitious founders who are scaling for the long run, apply to join our limitless.ceo community, link below.